Series unpacks our 2026 benchmark report. We've covered employers, we've covered the staffing side of things, and today we're covering the big topic that everybody always wants more of, AI. And not in the abstract, we're going to be talking about how real teams are putting AI to use right now, specifically for industrial hiring. A quick level set for anybody new to Factory Fix: we are a recruiting platform purpose-built for manufacturing. We pair a talent pool of over 10 million plus industrial and trades candidates, an AI recruiter that handles outreach, screening, scheduling, and customized labor market data to guide your decisions. Enough of that, let's get to the good stuff. My guests with me sit on opposite sides of the hiring table, one staffing, one in-house. Kristin, Dre, thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited to chat with you. Let's get started. Kristin, please kick us off. Tell us about yourself, Apex, and the roles you hire for.
Great, thanks for having me on. Hello, everyone. My name is Kristin Gladki. I currently serve here as the Director of Client and Candidate Success with Apex Placement and Consulting. We are a woman-owned business celebrating 5 years. We started in the heart of COVID and now have operations in 10 states and growing. Apex is considered general staffing, so we place it all. Everything from candidates fresh out of high school looking to get their foot in the door, all the way up to executive level management. I have over 20 years of experience in the staffing industry across a variety of roles, supporting everything from recruiting to operations, to client strategy and national workforce partnerships. I'm based out of Metro Detroit, so that gives me a front row seat to the evolving world of workforce development. I genuinely love the world of work and what we get to do, especially the intersection of people and problem solving. So I'm really excited to be here today to talk about how AI can support and enhance the hiring process.
Wonderful. Dre?
No, thanks so much, Gianna, for having me. So again, as acknowledged, my name is Dre Williams. I'm the HR Generalist at CLX Engineering, where we are a growing automation and controls engineering company. We are located in the sunny state of Florida, Central Florida to be exact. Our HR team is a team of 2, so myself and my director. So efficiency for us matters. It is something that we really kind of just pride ourselves in, and AI has really been able to kind of come in and kind of help revolutionize what we do and how we do and what we hire for. Our hiring ranges from project managers to control engineers, field techs, all the way up to the director level as well. Coming from retail HR, being in HR over the last 6 years, it was one of those things that I just was very skeptical about getting into the AI side of things and understanding that. But industrial recruiting has really been a completely different world for me. Learning how to use AI effectively and efficiently has really helped us scale our recruiting efforts across all markets. So super excited to be here today and talk about some efforts and what we've done and hear about some of the great things that all of us have done in the HR world. So it's going to be a fun time.
Awesome. So it's definitely a meeting of the minds. So we've got a lean staffing team with national reach, a lean in-house team, very competitive regional market. Both of you have made AI really a force multiplier within your organization, impacting your day-to-day. Let's get into how. Kristin, let's take us back. What led you to AI in the first place?
It's a great question. So as a small but mighty team of 19 here at Apex, we really needed to find a more efficient way to streamline our processes and find and engage candidates quickly. It's a really competitive market in general staffing. So speed to fill is everything in this industry. Our recruiters can lose valuable hours manually reviewing applications, organizing candidate data, trying to make first contact, especially since we have a lot of customers where the associates there work outside of normal business hours. So with the driving cost of job boards, we were seeing an influx of competition in market. We kind of raised the question to say, how do we do this faster, but without losing our human touch and quality screening processes? So AI really helped us move a lot of that delay. 1 year later, we're discovering new frontline efficiencies that help our team work smarter, not harder. We're able to immediately engage candidates as they apply, helping identify skills, shift preferences, basic qualifications within minutes. But what I enjoy best is with AI tools like Factory Fix, candidates are being acknowledged in real time, whether they apply at 1 o'clock in the afternoon or 3 o'clock in the morning. We just had a situation actually recently where Factory Fix was able to help us. We received a large order of machinists from a client that traditionally uses multiple vendors, so we knew it was going to be a quick task. We didn't have a forecast or pipeline, but we're able to utilize the AI to help source from scratch. And because of this, we were able to help fill 12 of the 18 openings we had within 2 hours. So that was really impactful for us to see that difference.
Amazing. That's got to be some kind of record somewhere.
We've got it logged on our bulletin board, I promise.
Nice. Couple gold stars for the team that week. Yeah. Dre, let's talk with you. You said you were skeptical, maybe might I even say like a non-believer of AI in recruiting at first. What was the moment when changed your mind?
I would definitely say you hit it dead on the head, Gianna. I was a non-believer. When AI first became a major topic in recruiting, I viewed it as another tool that promised more than it could deliver. But what really changed my mind was understanding it on a deeper scope. When we really began to dig in on it and really figure out how to customize and what it can do and how it can really benefit us. I think one of the biggest things, and Kristin just touched on it, is the off-hour recruiting. We would just really set ourselves up for success when we could come in the morning or from a long weekend and already have applicants lined up that we can speak to and have already been pre-screened, because we are able to really tailor and customize what we really need our AI to do. Um, I wasn't a believer that AI could be customized. I wasn't a believer that it could be something that can honestly, truly be tailored to my job. I was thinking that it was going to be a replacement. But really being able to better understand how to utilize it, how to apply it, where to apply it at, which just really was changed my scope and my view on it overall, honestly.
That's amazing. And can you share any more detail around what you're customizing that you find is working? This is an example
I
of
mean,
what that looks like on the platform.
yeah, no, I would think for me, when I first went into using the AI recruiter, one of the things that I was skeptical on was what I thought all of us were skeptical on, and that was the AI side of it. So I didn't want it to introduce itself as AI. I wanted to try to keep it as humanly in touch as possible. And then because it's AI, it did what it did, and it still came off as AI. So naturally, my applicants were just a little frustrated because they thought they were talking to a real recruiter. So being able to go into there and customize it, have it introduce itself as an automated recruiter, reassuring the applicant, hey, you're talking to an AI recruiter now, but once we get through this pre-screen of questions, there's going to be a real life human person that's going to come in and say, hey, thank you so much for answering. Here's a link to our website. Go ahead and submit an application. Our candidates were so much more understanding once it was truth out there, like, hey, this is AI, but we're using it to help speed the process up. That's what I think really changed the applicant's mind, is once they realize, like, wait a minute, this is used as a tool to push me through the hiring process quicker. This means that the recruiters are going to reach out to me quicker. I'm a little more at ease. So that customization just really changed our entire scope and view on it. And we've seen the numbers of people that have came from Factory Fix through our pipeline. And it's honestly just very eye-opening.
That's awesome. Kristin, anything to add? I see you're enthusiastically nodding. That's what I'd ask.
I feel like Dre and I oftentimes speak the same language when it comes to a lot of these things. I just really think that the biggest thing was being able to meet those candidates where they are in the moment. I think that there's a lot of respect and trust that comes from our candidates when they know, even though it may be AI contacting them, that we're providing transparency around that and that they're not losing the human connection. It may be a starting point to connect with AI to capture some basic information, but it was really important for us here at Apex, and it sounds like for you, Dre, to ensure that we're not losing that human element, that there is still someone who is going to take that information and contact that applicant ourselves and really make sure that they understand the ins and outs of what we're looking for and making sure that we understand what their needs are. So it really just helped us be able to spend that time focused on higher value work overall.
That's awesome. So I think everybody on the call can agree that speed is a screening mechanism, right? It's a lever. Every day a candidate waits around is a day that they spend potentially talking to somebody else. And actually candidates on Factory Fix respond at about 64%, roughly 3 times the rate of general job boards. Because Factory Fix is very focused on manufacturing and industrial markets. And a lot of that is due to the fact we mentioned kind of this just-in-time engagement, right? The AI recruiter is outreaching when the candidate is engaged, 3 a.m. on a break that maybe is an off hour. But still, we can't, ignore that trust is still a #1 adoption barrier for AI. I think in general, right? Personally, professionally, AI is the thing we have to sort of reconcile with. Actually, 40% of leaders in our report earlier this year told us that they still struggle to trust AI recommendations. And another 35% worry about the impact on the candidate experience. So my question to both of you, Dre, maybe we'll start with you, is what's your maybe advice for someone who might still be on the fence about AI, at what level to implement it? What would be your advice, I guess?
I would say for me, the biggest advice would be to tailor it. Because before you can trust anything, especially something that we all went into it thinking was going to be a replacement, we have to first figure out how can it better help us? Where in my workflow, where in my day-to-day task can I best utilize AI to help automate processes? When I first started at CLX, it was so funny to me. I'm like, man, we're an automation company. We need to try to find any way possible to automate our process, even in the back office, because that's what we do out in the field, at our airports, at theme parks. We're, giving automation, we're doing automation, installing automation. So why not take that same approach in the back office? And that's when I began to say, okay, well, AI can help speed up the process in recruiting. It can reach out to applicants. It can help me screen resumes quicker. And then once the resume is screened, they're screening for the technical side of it. Now I can pick up and take the human side of it. And now that's where the character comes in at and the cultural fit comes in at. I think oftentimes we hear AI and think it's going to replace the full hiring process, not realizing it's just an additive tool in the hiring process. The final decision is still going to be human based. Even with utilizing AI in the beginning of the process, in the middle of the process, the final decision is going to still come down to, hey, what do we decide? How do we feel about this person? So I definitely think it's a platform or a software that we should all figure out how to tailor it to what we need on a day-to-day or a week-to-week basis. And from there, I think the sky's the limit.
Definitely. And Kristin, same for you. You've clearly figured out where AI fits into your process today. How does that look today? How's it going?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely building efficiencies. I do think that when we're first rolling out AI here, there is some trust, that we have to work through. And part of it is just ensuring our team knows and understands how to use it to best serve them as well. So I try to remind our team, the goal is not for AI to replace recruiters or jobs within the talent acquisition industry. It's really to remove unnecessary friction so that they can really focus on the parts of recruiting that truly drive those successful placements, those soft skills, those, career needs. So at the end of the day, AI should enhance your expertise, not replace it. So it should be used as a support tool, and like a lot of support tools, similar to a spell check on your computer. It offers suggestions to help improve your final product. But at the end of the day, it's still our responsibility to add the human element, to review the output, apply our own judgments to things, put things in our own voice, and really question anything that doesn't align with our vision or expertise. So I think once you start putting it into that place where you're understanding that AI is not going to be the final product, I'm going to be the final product with AI support, I think it really helped get a lot of the teammates who maybe had some trust issues on board with why we use it and how.
Mm-hmm. Kristin, in an earlier call we had, you talked about some of your standard operating procedures for how to sort of set up your AI to kind of get it as close to, that human sort of prime it so that the judgment that you're going to lay over it is, sound. Can you speak to us about some of the SOPs you and the team have implemented with regards to AI?
Yeah, absolutely. So that is another piece that I think we learned. And for anybody like me who's attended quite a few AI calls and conferences, because it's always the hot topic, a lot of it for us was really understanding where the data comes from. How do we ensure that we aren't putting data into an open AI tool that shouldn't be there, right? That's confidential information or client protected information. So, part of it is when I specifically use AI, whether it's Factory Fix or ChatGPT or any other AI tools we use, I ask it to source my data. It may provide me some great information about the labor market in Metro Detroit, but if I don't know where that information came from and I can't cite that to our clients, then we know that knowledge really isn't there, and it becomes less fact and more opinion. So, to ensure we kept trust across the board, we work to ensure that we set up clear standard operating processes for AI. So that could look like things, ensuring we're not copying and pasting client full job descriptions in the AI, where it can use that data for other things. When we talk to candidates, we're ensuring that we're not putting any of their personal information into AI. So I think setting those boundaries not only helped continue to build trust for teams who aren't comfortable using the tools yet, but it really sets a consistent guardrail to ensure that our team and Apex stay safe as a whole.
Awesome. Yeah, and then it sets up the AI itself to learn and really adhere to your processes.
It does. I mean, we are at the point now between Factory Fix and my open AI system that I use, where it can speak in the voice of Apex, or it can speak in my voice. And I find I still have to review that information, right, and make sure that it's intended as such. But it's a lot less as AI learns what Apex is looking for, what voice we want to put into the world. How hard do we want the AI tool to screen a candidate, and what should be left up to the human element to make sure that we're really making that effective job match at the end of the day.
That's awesome. It's great. Cool. So almost coming up on time. I'd like to end with some forward-looking positivity around AI. You both kind of talked about how you sort of took some baby steps. You didn't flip on every single switch right on day one. There was sort of a process, a crawl, walk, run, if you will. For people who are, excited about AI, skeptical, whatever it may be, where should they start? And maybe we should frame that as in the form of a lesson. Kristin, Dre, has there been a lesson or an unlock you've had so far with your learning journey with AI that you would bestow upon others?
Yeah, I'm sure we probably both have some great examples. I think one of them for me is largely part of my role here at Apex and in previous jobs were to put together market data. If we struggle to fill a position, we want to make sure we're presenting our client with data showing what we found and what we think. And, you know, that used to be a very manual pull. You're in the job boards trying to make sure that you know what your competitors are paying. You're looking at the Bureau of Labor Statistics data and you're trying to put it all together. That was the clicking point for me. Once we started to use AI, and Factory Fix has a great tool for it, it gives market intelligent data that allows us to be more consultative partners rather than just a staffing vendor. Again, a lot of our clients, you know, have multiple vendors they work with. We don't want to be a vendor. We want to be a partner. And clients are much more open to conversations around things like adjusting pay or speeding up their interview process when we can really bring market trends to the table behind the challenge. So it's really creating a lot of exciting urgency around the candidate experience and our clients' responsiveness. So the data shows just how quickly candidates can move in today's market. So it was really a clicking point for me. I would always give the advice to take one task, one small task that takes a lot of time out of your day and just say, could this be automated with AI? It doesn't mean it does the whole work for you, but is it something that AI could start for me and gather information and intel so that when I sit down to put together a business case or market data, I'm educated with what I need without having to spend a lot of additional hours hand pulling all of that information.
Brilliant. Dre, how about you? Advice, a lesson, learnings?
I would say the biggest lesson I learned is to not believe that AI is thinking for me, more or less than just assisting me. And once I kind of took that approach and began to utilize it to help me with just the speed of screening applicants, coming from the retail world, even going into the industrial world now, one thing hasn't changed, and that's the amount of applicants I screen in a day or in a week or in a month. And being able to utilize AI in a different way to help just streamline what applicants come through, how do they come through. It's helped me save so much time to utilize that human side of things that you cannot replace. Utilize that human side of things that is going to always going to be a need in the workforce. So I would think for me, my biggest advice is just find that niche, find that place where AI best fits your day-to-day operations. And I think Kristin put it best, find out, hey, can this just help me organize and become better efficient? If it can, then I think that's the best place to utilize, plug in that AI feature. And from there, I think it'll be pretty smooth sailing.
Awesome. All right, so we have a couple key takeaways and then we'll move into questions. So as we sort of just talked about, quick recap, transparency always wins, as with most things in life, honesty and transparency. As Dre told us, the moment the AI introduced itself as AI, candidates stopped kind of pushing back and actually started to lean in because they didn't feel tricked. They sort of had a clear expectation of the dynamic. And when a real person steps in, it doesn't feel like a downgrade from a human, it feels like an upgrade to one, which enhances the candidate experience. Kristin talked a lot about trust and building with guardrails. She has a clear set of rules for what goes into AI, what never does. And then the trust piece gets earned as the AI learns and adheres to your own processes. And then lastly, you control the pace. We talked about control and customization. At the end of the day, AI works for you. Your tone, your questions, your rules, your brand. So think of AI as an extension of your team, as an extension of your human judgment, not a replacement for it. I think both Dre and Kristin, you covered those perfectly. Do we have time maybe for one or two questions? If anybody has a question, feel free to drop it in the chat. We had a couple come through before. We kind of talked about, somebody asked, where should I start? Kind of talked about that, really identifying like one piece of your process that kind of eats up the most time. This is an interesting version of one we talked about. Oh, actually,
we just got one.
Yeah. Where in the job do you put the message that they're speaking to AI? At what point in the process? That's a question for either one of you.
Yeah, I know for us, and Dre, you may have it different, but we do it right from the beginning. So,
Yeah.
you know, Factory Fix is the tool we're speaking of today, but any of the AI tools we use, we're transparent about it from the beginning, just so that they know and understand that they're speaking to an AI. What I find is the AI, as it gets smarter and understands us more, is more communicative around the fact that they're AI and they're here to help collect information that they'll pass on to our team. So we do it right out the gate. We like transparency around communicating with our candidates, and I think that's the biggest trust builder of all.
Yeah, no, same for us right out the gate. They just had the slide up that showed that our initial conversation starter with any applicant this is CLX Automated Recruiter. And I think that transparency piece is so important. Even internally, when I send out automated messages to my hiring managers, I make sure that they know that this is AI.
Awesome. Yeah, and then maybe one last question from Heather. I think she's asking more about the customization for when you're actually building the AI recruiter.
Yes. So in the AI recruiter, there's going to be an option to customize your pre-screen questions. You use that customization for your pre-screen questions and let the first question be, this is an automated recruiter. And then that way it'll kind of feed that as the conversation started once it started reaching out to applicants.
Nice. Perfect. We're right on time. Thank you both, Kristin and Dre, for your expertise, for giving us kind of a look under the hood for how you guys are using AI. Thank you, audience, for your wonderful participation and thoughtful questions. Look out for an email with links to all 3 recordings from our series, as well as a copy of our report. You can see Dre quoted in that report. And then thanks everybody here again to our wonderful speakers for sharing your playbooks, and thanks for everybody joining us. Have a wonderful almost Friday. We're almost there, guys. One more day. Thanks everybody.
Thanks so much. All right, take care.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.